his job in there. He did what he had to do. Yeah, Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8", you know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, you know? That fight would be good. You won't get hit in the fight. You know, that's one thing we all know. And I believe in my abilities, and I believe in myself that I can handle anything that any fighter.
There are still 6 months to go before their highly anticipated showdown. Yet Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have already started building up the tension ahead of their super fight in September. Earlier today, the two fighters met with Turki Alalshikh, but what was supposed to be a routine meeting quickly took an unexpected turn.
Canelo in Riyadh, MA, the big fight.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford had a heated confrontation, nearly resulting in a brawl, one that Turki Alalshikh wouldn't have been able to stop. Their meeting in Saudi Arabia was meant to finalize details for their mega fight, but tensions escalated when the two crossed paths at the airport before heading to Turki Alalshikh's residence.
His Excellency didn't seem as into this in the past, and now last night seemed very on board making this happen. What changed on his end?
I don't know. You have to ask him. You know, I think it's a very intriguing fight. You know, Canelo and me is the same height. I got longer reach than Canelo. I'm faster than Canelo. But Canelo is bigger than me. He's stronger than me. So we both giving away something, but we both gaining something at the same time.
Both fighters' teams had expected them to maintain mutual respect, as there was never any real animosity between them. Even while calling each other out and anticipating a clash, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford had always shown professionalism. However, things took a sudden turn when Crawford approached Canelo at the airport to exchange pleasantries, only to be met with what seemed like a cold snub from Alvarez.
So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit to face Crawford, but you never know. You never know in boxing. I'll go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible. Why not?
Rings at me or throw at me. You know, I gotta be able to believe in myself if I'm gonna get in the ring with you. I can't go in the ring thinking, oh man, if this guy hit me, he's gonna knock me out, or if this guy hit me, he's gonna break my ribs. So now, you know, if he was talking about Deontay Wilder or something,
This prompted Crawford to make further attempts to engage with Canelo, but tensions quickly escalated. Alvarez nearly lashed out physically, causing Crawford to lose his temper. The two began exchanging heated words, seemingly ready to fight right then and there. However, neither fighter was alone. Members of their teams immediately stepped in to separate them, while airport authorities also intervened to prevent an all-out brawl before their scheduled showdown in September. Eventually, both fighters made their way separately to Turki Alalshikh's residence, where it is believed the Saudi boxing mogul helped defuse the situation. A photo later posted on Alalshikh's social media showed him alongside both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, suggesting that tensions may have been eased behind closed doors.
In the history of boxing, in September, then 2 more fights in 26. Don't miss with the line.
Turki Alalshikh. That fight has been set at the perfect time. Canelo Alvarez and former undisputed champion Terence Crawford have had multiple meetings with the Saudi boxing mogul to finalize details. However, beyond those discussions, their rivalry has now intensified with a fiery exchange, adding even more anticipation to their upcoming clash.
Alvarez.
oh well, it ain't really no message, you know. It's all respect over here, you know, and if he do decide to come our way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight, you know. it won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course, I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that.
For a fight that is already being hailed as the match of the year, fans are craving intensity and drama, and Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are delivering exactly that. Both fighters understand how to keep the excitement alive, fueling anticipation with their heated exchanges. At the forefront of negotiations is Turki Alalshikh, who has been instrumental in bringing both camps together. As part of Riyadh season, he is working to finalize what could be one of the biggest fights in boxing history.
Y para este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi nombre. Nunca perdí un solo centavo, sino nomás ganó dinero. ¿Ya le pagaste a Golovkin lo que le quería robar? ¿Sí?
Canelo Alvarez was initially hesitant to take on the 37-year-old Terence Crawford, but it seems the Mexican boxing icon has had a change of heart and is now preparing for the challenge. Reports suggest that Turki Alalshikh played a key role behind the scenes, likely offering Alvarez a massive purse to secure his agreement for this blockbuster fight. Although Canelo already has a scheduled bout in May against William Skull during the Cinco de Mayo weekend, it's his highly anticipated showdown with Terence Crawford that is dominating the headlines.
Hopefully once you guys get in there.
I don't know. I just think, his punch power and his physical size is the only thing that I really need.
Speaking about the fight in an interview with a well-known boxing platform, the 34-year-old confirmed he was ready for the clash, with Bud admitting that he would not get any credit at the end of the day. "I won't have any credit if I face Crawford, but you never know in boxing. I move up and down in weight and fight everyone, so it's possible. Why not? It's possible." He then added, "I respect Crawford. He is a great fighter. I always say that, no disrespect to him. Sometimes it is crazy that people talk about a small fighter like Charlo who is big. And now everyone is asking if I will fight Crawford, a fighter at 147 who is even smaller than Charlo. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But you guys are saying it right now." This was almost identical to what he said in an earlier interview, where he stated, "I'm in. Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he is a great fighter. But in my weight class, it is an easy fight for me, easy money. If the money is right, I'm in. Because I don't like fighting guys like Crawford, because he moves a lot and the fight is not that exciting. But I saw Crawford in his last fight, and he does not move as much now. So yeah, if the money is right, I'm in."
The only thing that I really have to worry about. But who knows? Once we get in the ring, we don't know how I'll handle his punching power, his size. I've been fighting bigger guys my whole life, so I'm pretty familiar with that aspect of the game.
It has been a different experience for Terence Crawford, who has been chasing a fight with Canelo Alvarez ever since his victory over Errol Spence in the 147 welterweight division, where he became the undisputed welterweight champion. "I have been wanting this fight. It is a legacy fight. It is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight is the last of the Mohicans. I think it would be massive. You have two fighters who are top 3 pound for pound going head-to-head. I know Canelo is bigger than me, but I am ready for the challenge. It is all respect. And if he decides to take the fight and we step into the ring together, it will be an electrifying showdown."
No comment. Your reaction to that, and that seems like that you do want this fight now.
Well, I've been wanting to fight. I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if this is the biggest fight in boxing today.
As he prepares for the fight in 6 months, the former undisputed champion from Omaha, Nebraska, acknowledges the challenges ahead. He said he will have to be mindful of Canelo's size and power, but also emphasized his readiness and the different weapons he will bring on fight night. Interestingly, Terence Crawford is not just accustomed to facing bigger opponents. Throughout his career, he is also used to defeating them, as he holds an undefeated record of 41-0. "I have been fighting bigger guys my whole life, and he is confident he will come away with the win. Of course, I will beat him." The 41-0 star said, "There is no doubt in my mind that I wouldn't beat anyone I step in the ring with."
This fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. You know, we both coming in an era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era, that type of era. So,
This fight right here is significant because what makes a potential Canelo-Crawford showdown particularly compelling is the fact that both fighters are likely nearing the final chapters of their Hall of Fame careers. The 34-year-old Canelo has been fighting professionally for nearly 20 years, amassing an impressive record of 62 wins and 2 losses, with 2 draws. Some of those fights, especially his 2 controversial battles with Gennady Golovkin, have undoubtedly taken a toll on his body. As for Crawford, at 37 years old, he is not getting any younger. With an undefeated record of 41 fights under his belt, he has never tasted defeat in the ring. Looking at it from this perspective, a Canelo-Crawford fight makes a lot of sense, as it raises the question of what challenges remain for each fighter to conquer.
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I always say that. No disrespect to him, but sometimes he's.
Both of these fighters know what it means to be an undisputed champion in an era where such titles are rare. Each fighter is also no stranger to the biggest stages. Canelo has been part of multiple high-profile super fights, including his clashes with Gennady Golovkin and Floyd Mayweather, while Crawford finally had his moment in a mega fight when he dominated and stopped Errol Spence in 9 rounds of one-sided action. Now Crawford, who last competed at super welterweight, would need to move up 2 full weight divisions to challenge super middleweight king Canelo in what would be one of the most significant fights in recent history.
About a small fighter like Charlo, he's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford, fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo.
Alvarez lost his undisputed status at 168 kilograms when he was stripped of the International Boxing Federation title, which was later claimed by unheralded Cuban William Skull. Before facing Terence Crawford in September, he promised Turki Alalshikh during his press conference with William Skull that he would reclaim the IF belt from him. The goal is clear. Turki Alalshikh wants Canelo Alvarez's fight against Terence Crawford to be for the undisputed World Super Middleweight Championship, which means Canelo must win the belt back from William Skull to make it happen.
Yeah, I've seen that. Everybody that believes in hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo, just like they know who else is going to beat Smith. It's real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say it.
Ahead of the fight, Terence "Bud" Crawford is fully aware of the physical disadvantage he will face against Canelo, acknowledging that size will play a crucial role in the matchup. However, he remains confident in his ability to overcome this challenge and impose his boxing style. Many boxing analysts have expressed doubts about Crawford's ability to compete effectively at super middleweight, partly due to his most recent fight, a points victory over Israel Madrimov at super welterweight, which did not showcase the dominant performance many had anticipated.
I don't know, man. I don't know. They still gotta work things out and see where they go from here. I know they going to run out there as an opponent. Where they gonna follow? Butter stop him. Yeah, butter stop him.
Despite these concerns, the potential showdown between Canelo and Crawford has captured the imagination of boxing fans. The combination of power, speed, technique, and charisma from both fighters sets the stage for what could be an unforgettable spectacle. Canelo Alvarez has maintained a tradition of fighting twice a year, once in May and again in September, with the latter coinciding with Mexico's independence celebrations. Since 2022, he has consistently scheduled his fights during these months and is set to continue this pattern in 2025. Crawford, on the other hand, has chosen not to take any fights until September, when he faces Canelo. Some believe this is a risky decision, as a similar approach backfired for Errol Spence when he fought Crawford. While Spence entered the ring without a tune-up fight, Crawford stayed active and ultimately dominated their bout, leaving many to wonder if history could repeat itself.
Because the way Crawford is doing it is because he knows it's the biggest payday in his life, and he'll never. Maybe what he could get against Canelo, he's never made in all his fights combined. So of course, why would he call up Benavides when he's calling out Canelo? No.
Is it over now, or are we still waiting for that second fight to happen? I don't know, man, I don't know. They still have to sort things out and see where they go from here. I know there are opponents out there who think they can get a shot at Bud even without a title on the line, but is that really a fight that makes sense?
He's not gonna bitch out.
You don't think he could go all 12?
He won't bitch out. He'll put up some good rounds. He'll knocked out, but he'll put up some good rounds, and that's better than what Charlo did.
He'll fight.
Yeah, exactly. He'll fight. No, he'll
Although the fight seems to be more of a media spectacle than a true competitive clash, as Crawford fights at 154 Olb's 2 weight classes. Below the Guadalajara native, both Crawford and Saudi boxing mogul Turki Alalshikh were able to successfully persuade Alvarez to accept the fight, for which he demanded $150 million, despite concerns that the matchup may not be the most competitive from a sporting perspective. Canelo Alvarez is not underestimating Crawford, as Crawford's boxing skills are exceptionally rare, and explain why he remains undefeated after 41 fights. Trainer Robert Garcia discussed Canelo's advantage over Crawford, while also acknowledging Crawford's unique talent and skill set.
He can hit, like I know he can hit.
And he has a great chin. Has he ever been dropped ever?
he was hurt. Cotto's brother.
Yeah, but that was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, but he got hurt. So what? He did get hurt.
Hey, you bring up Crawford getting hurt by Gamboa. That was 1,000
When
years
did I
ago.
ever say that?
You said that the other day.
I don't remember saying that.
What's it called?
Crawford is a smart man. He has already achieved everything he set out to do. Garcia said in an interview with Fight Hype he has accomplished a lot and does not need to challenge himself further. He has nothing left to prove to anyone. I have spoken to him personally, and my impression is that he wants that big fight against Canelo. And if he does not get it, he might never fight again. Garcia added that Crawford has several options in the junior middleweight division. If he chooses to pursue other challenges, the most attractive option would be a fight against World Boxing Council and World Boxing Organization champion Sebastian Fundora. He could also challenge International Boxing Federation champion Bakram Murtazaliyev. Other potential opponents include Jermel Charlo, Virgil Ortiz, Serhiy Bohachuk, and Xander Zayat.
You see, Murta says that Canelo hits just a slight less heavy-handed than Caballo.
Wow.
You think Caballo's stronger?
I think Caballo's heavier-handed. I think Canelo's stronger, but I think Caballo, there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference between powers.
Right.
Caballo is heavier-handed. Like when he was driving to the body.
Okay, to be fair, Caballo weighed 220 pounds when he started. Well, he did it? What?
However, according to Robert Garcia, Crawford no longer needs to seek another fight due to his outstanding career and undefeated record. He has nothing left to prove. He has already achieved everything. I don't see him fighting just to satisfy fans who say he needs to fight this or that opponent. Garcia explained. Garcia also believes that if money were the motivation, Crawford wouldn't need to step into the ring again, as he has managed his wealth well and has investments to support him. His only reason to return would be to face Canelo and end his career on a high note. He is going to go out there and look for the big fight, enjoy his life. He is a very smart man. He has invested his money wisely. He doesn't need to fight again. But he is still chasing that big fight against Canelo, and if he gets it, he will take it. Otherwise, he might never fight again, added the trainer.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. They're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just...
If the fight happens against the Guadalajara boxer, Garcia believes that Crawford can hold his own against Canelo for several rounds. Maybe not enough to win, but enough to earn Canelo's respect and that of the public. Look, I think Crawford could put up a strong fight for the first 6 to 8 rounds. It would be very competitive. Crawford has the skills. He is very strong. He has great speed and enough power to make Canelo respect him and for him to earn that respect in return. But eventually, I think Canelo is just too big, too strong, Garcia concluded. But for those first 6 rounds, it would be a very entertaining fight.
I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter. But the difference in size will be the deciding factor. And that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford...
Another boxing professional who disagrees with this is Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia recently told FightHub that he crossed paths with Crawford at last December's World Boxing Council convention in Hamburg, Germany, where he praised him for all his achievements to date. Crawford is one of the best fighters that I have seen, Garcia said.
Or he can attempt that, but there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and you know.
I told him, dude, you're a bad guy. You've been a bad guy. You don't always get the recognition because of politics in boxing and favoritism here and there. But he truly does have the skills. He's a great fighter, and he's proven it multiple times. Obviously, still Garcia questions how Crawford, who fought early in his career at lightweight, would handle Alvarez at 168, where Canelo unified the division and remains undefeated. Alvarez has faced the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, Jermell Charlo, and Jaime Munguia, among others, at 168, making him the most experienced fighter in the division. Where do you plan on going? 164, 165, 166, Garcia asked.